This... It was funny. Initially, I liked it. When I first heard No Promises to Keep, I liked it. And I was like, this is good. However, I was just like that. But then once it came around at the end, I heard like little bits of it because they were using the motifs from the song in the game. And then later, of course, they replayed at the end. I feel like hearing those motifs and then hearing it more, I liked it more and more. And now it's like it's been in my head every day. I've been listening to it a bunch. For whatever, I mean, I feel it's a little bit like Hollow. I mean, obviously it's like Hollow, which was the exact same thing. It's another Umatsu track. Whereas initially I was like, it's whatever. And then I heard it some more, and now Hollow is like really fucking good. And I fucking love the song Hollow. I feel like it's a bit like that, where it's like it took a second, and then I really got into it. Let's walk on some city streets, cobblestones. Cobblestones. It's great. The president went to live stream. It's not heaven. It's not judging souls. President went to the live stream. Yeah, I know. Everybody went to the... I know. But I do find it funny, like... I wonder... I guess it's like a, you know, one entity. It was fate. But no, it's like, you know, they're all one entity. Does he feel bad in the live stream? So he doesn't feel like the pain of, like, the suckage that he's doing to the planet, or that he did to the planet now that he's in it. Probably got curb stomped. My assumption is... you towards me. That section is so good. God. He might have gotten curb stomped. But yeah, President Rufus died. Went to the live stream. And then it's just a homogenous mass of everybody else. Well, much I could say. But yeah. So the ending is interesting. There were parts that I didn't initially get, and I had to rewatch. One of them I watched on stream again because I died, and I was like, this is a perfect opportunity to rewatch this cutscene. Obviously, Aerith dies, or still dies. They pull a bait switch where like Cloud is there, he makes it, he saves Aerith, where initially he didn't. But then of course she dies regardless. And what that means and why is of interest. There was a lot of thoughts and a lot of theories, and there's parts of like the whole alternate world thing. Distant worlds. I was born to bear. Yeah, the distant... Sorry, there's a lot to talk about. Small complaints I have in the Temple of the Ancients. The original melody isn't as strong. Although, the fuck, how does it go? I can hear it in my head. That song, yeah. That's a funny little song. Yeah, I heard it, but I was like, it was obviously not the, you know, as the same. I think a dungeon is fine, but I think it could have been a lot cooler. I liked it. It was just kind of, I mean, like every dungeon, it does feel like they're all very long. And fair enough, they're dungeons, but they're like multiple hours long. Hours long. Someone has a case I always have a case of the Mondays. It's tragic. I'm going to cry. Even though I'm only going to work for 3 days this week. One of those days is going to be really rough, and today I did work today at work, and I didn't make any progress whatsoever. But it's okay, because people on my team saw that, and they were there, and they also didn't make any progress with what I was working on. Nobody made any progress with my work, because everyone was like, oh, wow, this sucks. So, not good, though. Sledge Banger, but only hear its notes fading out. Yeah, it's kind of like they reappropriated it, remixed it. Anyways. The day. The Distant Worlds, Crossroads thing. Thought about how they bring Reno back. The way the game made a point to say he was on vacation. I mean, my whole thought about why Reno hasn't been in the game was because that the Japanese voice actor died, and they just didn't want to utilize him much. They brought in Elena to replace a lot of that. And the reason they put him on vacation, part of it was that he was feeling regret. And they wanted to, like, you know, say, hey, man, get your fucking mind in order. You're a Turk, not a wimpy, namby-pamby motherfucker. Which is why Sang says in the temple when Reno comes back, and they split off in the pairs, is like, keep your head in order, or whatever he says. But a part of that was like, yeah, there's that segment where he's like lumping around the desert, and Elena's crying about ice cream, and Rude is like, you know, miss your buddy, or whatever he says. Which at the time I was like, oh, that feels clearly a nod towards the voice actor of Reno who passed away. Obviously in Japan they treat voice actors a little differently, and it's a big deal if someone dies. It's a big deal to recast a character. It's huge. So their treatment of that, and I believe they are going to recast him and have him for the next game, but it's like, yeah, that was a big deal. Reno's voice actor, who's been Reno's voice actor for a while, passed away, which is quite unfortunate. I knew the context, so I knew that, so it didn't that's what I clocked it as. But I guess if you don't, it could feel like several hours prior. It was a little strange. Yeah, the whole thing about the ancient temple, when it's like several hours later. We did this 20 minutes ago. What do you mean several hours prior? I just picture that there's like time, like there's like vagaries of time that we don't know about. I don't know. Of some sort, or like Aerith and Yuffie sat down and took a nap for like 2 hours or something. I don't know. God, this song is so fucking good. Bum, bum, bum. So I'm looking for the ancient temple, the Temple of the Ancients, whatever that song was called. Beautiful. Thanks, Lauren Alred. Yeah. I appreciate Aerith getting the lean to properly communicate with the live stream. That was neat. I kind of didn't mind those, like, they were like little puzzly sections. They were fun. They were neat. I mean, they were neat. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. They reminded me of the video game Knack for some reason. I don't know. I can't articulate why. I own Knack, don't I? One of the only games I had for the PS4. It was the game I had when I got my PS4. Knack. I don't know why. No idea. It's a weird, puzzly, strange game. I didn't hate it. It was a neat idea, although it wasn't utilized very well in part of it. You know, Aerith got benefits in battle, but you did like 5 battles. And usually I spent most of it doing stuff. The choreography of the Turks. Yeah, the choreography of the Turks is great. I struggled my first attempt against Elena and Sang. I guess. I guess, did I? I don't remember. I probably died sometimes. I'm starting to feel like I'm not actually very good at this game, but there are certain things I did pretty well. You killed Kenny. That's unfortunate. He doesn't deserve that. He's a good guy. Oh my God! I killed. Never mind. I can't remember. It was like days ago. It was like an 8-hour stream. The game likes to make Cloud frustrating with the way he falls. I feel like in this case, they did a good... they don't feel like... I mixed on the fact that people don't reach out, they don't slap the shit out of Cloud, they don't do shit. Like, Barrett is not a guy who's gonna let, like... I'm thinking of Barrett when he first met Cloud, and they were, like, talking shit about each other. Barrett didn't let things fucking slide. Alright? Barrett didn't let things slide. He talked shit. And now it's like... Now that he knows Cloud, he's more like... You know, I'm Barrett. I don't want to offend Cloud. I don't know. Like, what the fuck? Just like listen. Because the personality shift that Cloud has in the temple is major. It's noticeably major, and it's really uncomfortable. And I do feel like that's a good thing. Like, it's so distinct how uncomfortable it is. Like, they sell it well. And again, if I'm not crazy in remembering, like, in the Ancient Temple, originally you get it in the Black Materia, there's a part where Cloud just, like, beats the crap out of Aerith. And I don't like that scene, but it's like, and it's really, that's horribly uncomfortable. And it's such a shock when it happens. Takes the Black Materia, he's like, and she's gone. And I was like, I was very worried that was gonna happen, and they were gonna, like, I'm very glad they don't have that scene and it doesn't happen, they don't show it. But like, there was a while I was like, oh, I really hope that doesn't happen. That's gonna be really, really desperately uncomfortable. But, so I guess what they did was technically easier. Funny hear what you talking about the clock room the whole time. Yeah, whatever. Clock schmuck. The clock room was not, I don't know why, but that's like one of the rooms I can really remember. Because you choose a time and you fall down because you choose the wrong time or whatever. You fight a guy and you do the clock again. The Ancient Temple is not a very big. It's like 2 rooms. It's like 3 rooms or whatever. 3 main rooms and a bunch of offshoots or whatever. But it can take a long time when you keep choosing the wrong... You spend a lot of time in the clock room spitting things around and trying to go from door to door and like, don't know which way to... It's like, you could spend a lot of time there. What is this? Oh. Oh, let's play some of this music instead. Anaki's Memories Are Comfortable. It's really... Well, they do a good job in this game. They've done it a lot where they put you in cutscenes and force you to do either futile actions or do stuff. Like when Cloud you have to press the triggers to make Cloud crawl on the ground like a baby, in the fire. Obviously they did the same thing with Red, where they make you interact with it, even if obviously in the case of Red, you're like trying as fucking hard as you can't get out. All of those scenes, the scenes where every single person goes through like the worst day of their fucking life, is horrible. It's so fucking rough. It's really uncomfortable. Really rough, dude. And Barrett's was, yeah, I felt like Barrett's was one of the best of those. Because experiencing that, being like, you're not used to having an arm and then you have it accessed again, it's not just a memory. It's like him like, oh my god, this is back. His wife is back. All of the stuff they love. All the things he... Basically, it's like, imagine all the things he had lost are back. And he has to lose it again. Basically. Like in Barrett's case, it wasn't just getting to see the shit happen. It's getting everything he loves back and losing it once more. Him seeing Myrna again and walking into his house and her saying, oh, you must have had a long day, let's sit down. And he just goes along with her. It's really... It was rough. It was good. And yeah, Barrett's VA is... I still think Barrett's VA is the best VA. I feel like he gets snubbed a bit when it comes to some of the VA rewards, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Aerith's was fine. And obviously they made it sad. I mean, Aerith was very effective in some points. The stuff where you have to like walk around and talk to people as a little girl, I did think that was a little silly. It still worked, but I was a little bit like, come on, nobody's this cruel. We've explored. Again, that's the part of it. It was like, we've explored the sector, and it was not nearly as bad before. It doesn't look that different, but... I will say, I think I mentioned on stream, that's where I only, like, then, it occurred to me that there was a parallel between Tifa finding Cloud and Elmira finding Aerith. The train station, people up there on the side. But yeah, that obviously... But that, I mean, that was whatever. Everything else, though... all the other parts of Aerith stuff, aside from the little girl walking around, I thought... And asking people... That was all... Actually, it was all pretty good. I liked Aerith. I still think I liked Aerith pretty good. I don't know why Yuffie, like... was the one that started triggering it, but I think that was just to build up everything else. And Yuffie's was still good. It's always the thing of, like... You have flashbacks of someone you love who's gone. It wasn't like, oh, seeing, you know, the deep ground guy. That didn't do anything for me. But it was at the very beginning of Yuffie's, where she's like hearing flashbacks of what Sona said to her. Like he's there in spirit. Who else was there? I guess Kate Sith wasn't there, because fuck Kate Sith. I don't know what kind of trauma Kate Sith is gonna fucking have. We don't see Sid, we don't see Vincent. It's just... And obviously Tifa's. Tifa's is pretty, like, you know... We've seen that already. We've seen that scene multiple times. And then Cloud's trial was... Yeah, that's right. Which was an interesting one that they saved his for last. I thought that was an interesting sequence of the fact that they all got assigned, and then his is just in the actual end hallway, not like his own separate thing. It was almost like Sephiroth was giving more than Temple, perhaps. Yeah, I don't think it was the Temple. I feel like the Temple didn't give Cloud a trial is because Cloud's memories were messed up. They didn't... These were all based on people's memories. This is trauma from people's lives, and if Cloud isn't fully... You know, his memory's not fully there, then maybe it can't... The Temple doesn't know what to do. I don't know. That was my thought. It's like... They can't pull from his memories because it doesn't quite... It's not, like, fully fleshed out. That's what I figured. And yes, playing up to any of these vagueness in the past, but... I don't even remember. What was Cloud? Sorry, I feel like I should watch my own VOD, but... And I believe when you were escaping the temple, was it Aerith you were playing as? I'm sure... I don't know how many times it was. There were a lot of moments they did make you play as Aerith here, which makes sense. And I do feel like at this point, I thought about it after the Golden Saucer anyways, where the Golden Saucer really makes you feel as if, at least for this portion of the game, was Aerith. Aerith and Cloud were interested in each other. And I think the song, No Promises to Keep, which is an interesting title, it goes along with, you know, No Promises at Journey's End or whatever. Is kind of sold. Another day with Aerith, I know. But I mean, they feel like that's clearly like... But it doesn't work out for them. Even Marlene says as such, which makes me feel so bad about Zack being like, man, she likes Cloud, huh? Yeah, the stamp thing was interesting. I saw a bulldog stamp. I was like, I don't know what that means. Yeah, I forgot. Hey, Cloud cries in the end, man. No crying till the end, but Cloud fucking does. To a degree. We see tears. But yeah, the distance... First of all, the different worlds thing. A lot of people think, is all this in Cloud's mind? What's the deal? Not all of it is. I mean, even... Okay, let's go to the very end cutscene, where Cloud is looking and seeing Aerith and nobody else is. We get an indication that Aerith is there in some form. Because she goes by Red, and Red, like, senses her. You know? Where Red's like, oh, I feel her presence. She's here. Just for a little bit. So if that's like Aerith as the live stream, and why, you know, same way, like, you know, they tease that in other parts where, like, just doing a proto-relic quest and Barrett hears the voices of Avalanche around that weird live stream in the fucking Cosmo Canyon area. Like, are they there? It might be. It's showing as if her as Aerith and Witcher Genova. I mean, in this case, I actually think it is Aerith. It didn't do too much deceptive stuff. And you notice when he gets the Black Materia, that's when Aerith goes away to stand by Red and the others. And she's not next to Cloud when he looks at the Black Materia and absorbs it into his fucking body for some reason and into his sword, and I don't know what the fuck that means. No idea. That all happens when Aerith is walked away and he checks his pocket. Very strange. But no, the distance world things where it's not just... I don't know how I would feel about it with Cloud, because he feels like this maybe shouldn't... You know, everyone's sad except for him. I don't know. But the distance world thing isn't, like, all in his head. We can validate that... But presumably we can validate this as much from the fact that Aerith's materia was clear. But when she's praying, she got it. She got the white materia from the weird date dream sequence in the woods, you know, Lunar Harp, whatever, from Cloud. That must have been real in some form, whatever form that was, or however form that took, in some aspect. We don't know the full extent of what happened or how, But we know that something is there. And the same thing with, like, Zach's storyline isn't just made up. That's a real thing, too. So there's something, obviously. I think it's the people, anyone who's denying that, like, anyone who's denying, like, that shit is, come on, there's many points that aren't just, it's all in your head, Cloud. There's more there. The whole Zach thing is, I don't know. I saw, like, a fucking Reddit article thread or something, just a title that I clicked on by accident and clicked away, that made me think that there was a chance that, like, Tifa was gonna die as well, or either Tifa was gonna die, something was gonna happen, or it was like maybe 2 people died this time, and then nobody's there to save Cloud in the 3rd act, and who knows? That didn't happen, of course. It must have been a meme or something that someone was joking about. Which is good I didn't get spoiled. I definitely didn't get spoiled. I was worried that I'd read something by accident and was spoiled, and that obviously didn't happen. I think the one outside the water and in the field could be fake. I don't know. It's hard to say. Zach would take in his place. Yeah, I mean, there's not an impossibility there, but I mean, Zach doesn't exactly pray. I guess, I mean, it's just a materia, right? But he's not a fucking ancient. Who knows? I like the idea of, Zach gets shit on, he dies, and he's used as like a plot foil. No. Zach's like, I want my fucking time back. Fuck you. I want to live. I want to get my own shit. I don't want to just be used for plot convenience. I'm gonna persist. So he just chooses to persist and go his own way. I can't help but feel like inevitably Zach will come into the party next game. Also, it's interesting that this game ends the same way. Like, as many differences as this game has had, it was much more... Here's the thing. Remake had some slight differences. This game had many more differences. Much more. Immediately it had more differences. But it still ended up going to the same locations and ending the same way. I almost wonder if every game, like the 3rd game, maybe it'll be completely different. Like, even more so than this one. Maybe it'll just be, like, completely and utterly different. Who knows? No idea. But I'm almost wondering if they're going to ramp it up even more, and now there's the chance for it to become fucking completely left field. Super detached from the party. Everyone else got limits. Yes. I did notice that he didn't get a limit, and someone mentioned that. And I didn't know quite why. It wasn't fueled by sadness, wasn't fueled by anger, wasn't fueled by something. When does Cloud think that Aerith is... Well, okay. Even if... Like, Cloud doesn't think she's alive. I don't think he thinks she's alive. He knows she's not alive. Like, he doesn't think that she's, like, survived. He knows that she died. I don't think he does. Because it just doesn't make sense. He wouldn't understand why they're sad. He would be like, what the fuck is wrong with everybody? She's right here. There's like, that just doesn't work. You can't just say, oh, I think she's still alive. Where is she alive? Is she alive, like, physically? Because you could see her, and they can't see her. Like, he thinks he saved her, and then he sees her die. And then, I don't know. I almost think it's too ridiculous to think that he thinks that she's alive. I mean, he still seems... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's seeing a different world. Then that's the weird part. That crack in the sky is clearly from the other world. And I don't know what that means. If he's like half in one, half out the other... I don't know. I have no idea what would cause that. What would go to that? Fuck, I don't know. Maybe he's in the... I don't know. And maybe, I mean, a lot of people feel like Aerith might come back. I mean, the whole premise is of no promises to keep. I don't need a promise that will come back, because we'll make it anyways. And there's a lot of people who think that maybe Aerith will come back. That will be a big change. Somehow. they will actually manage to reunite. Maybe it might not be true, but a lot of people feel that might be somehow, some way, that's something they're going to make happen. I mean, it just beguiles me to be like, there's no way the party cannot sense or notices that this won't come up, or like that just can't. There's no way that can function. Unless the party is even worse than they already are at talking to people. That's almost too ridiculous to me. I think he thinks there's something, or maybe that he sees her in the live stream, or you know. Because the way he talks to her at the end in the field is not like it's some kind of farewell, but not a farewell of like, oh, I'm going to see you again in real life. It's more of a farewell of, you know, I'll do this for you, I promise. I don't think he thought she was alive. That's me personally. I don't know. Yeah, but the fact that there is like that, I feel like the worlds have collided in some way or fused. And I by the way, I don't know what that would mean in terms of like Wheelchair Cloud. Is Aerith the only person who fused in between the worlds? Is Wheelchair Cloud now a part of Real Cloud? Is that why he's seeing stuff? But what about the other party members? Are they not like... Well, actually, in the other world, the other party members are dead. In the other world, all the Avalanche members have died. We see that. Very beginning of the game, we see them all dead. The only one who's left is Bandana Biggs. So there is no person for Tifa to fuse into, or Barrett to fuse into, or Red to fuse into. Obviously, I don't know about Yuffie or Sid or anybody else. But if they all fused. I don't know. No idea. It's... And of course, what about Zack? I guess Zack would just be himself. There's only one Zack now. And they talk about there's many worlds. We only see these two. How many are there? What's the connotation? Is she always destined to die? Is this some kind of, like, fatalistic universe? Or fatalistic planet that has multi... It's not a multi-universe. It's multi-planets. Or it's like the planet itself has multiple realities. Or whatever the fuck. It's kind of weird. I think it's funny, because most people hate multiverse stuff these days, but the way this is doing it is obviously a little bit different. No, but no promises to keep and no promises at Journey's End. I feel like that's teasing something. And, of course, the fact that Cloud explicitly makes a promise to Aerith at the end of the game. Not that they'll see each other again, but that he'll take care of Sephiroth. And I completely see your point about how that could be completely misleading him. Because, yeah, even though, to be fair, throughout the game, Aerith is dedicated to taking down Sephiroth and thinks it is necessary. But there is the part of, like, that's what he promises Aerith, to take down Sephiroth. She's like, yeah, you got it. I'll make sure to pray. You take down Sephiroth. Stings to walk out of Rebirth, not being able to go, hell yeah. That's the other thing. Where I was immediately just like, what happened? Because again, the original didn't make me too sad because I knew it was happening. Unfortunately, you know, it didn't really hit me. This one didn't hit me with sadness either. I don't think I was really sad about this. The scene still had an impact, but it wasn't like major to me as a kid, or when I played it, the original. And this one didn't really have one either. Oh, it did, but it was different. Obviously, I mean, the stuff that was super emotional was all the stuff that happened beforehand in the Ancient Temple. But it almost feels so like a intentional jape. It's like when Sakurai reveals, you know, Banjo, but instead he puts Duck Hunt to fuck with you, or whatever he does. You know, it felt like that, where it was like, look, Cloud blocked it. She lives. She lives. And then immediately you see the blood on the sword, and it's like, what? Then she dies regardless. You see the materia fall out of her head. And And then there's the thing about, like, one of the only things Zack says to Cloud before, like, Zack gets zooped off back to the fucking church world, is save her. And that's after he failed to save her, which is part of the reason why I think, and the whole thing about Marlene saying that Cloud needs to save Aerith, I feel like they're almost setting up to where Cloud has to somehow save Aerith, even though she's already gone. I don't actually quite like the line from the original. A little clunky. But I think it can be effective. I think it depends, but I think it can be effective. The stuff about my fingers are tingling, my mouth is dry, my eyes are burning. That feels straight out of, like, Earthbound. That stuff is, like, super compelling. But stuff like, what are we supposed to do? Some parts of it I quite like, and some parts of it I'm like, I feel like it's a little clunky. But I think it can be, I think parts of it are very good. And I would have liked to see something like that in the remake, of course, and see how much they could do. Fight Fate, do the impossible themes I love. Want them to be so strong they can do it. They might not. I don't know. It feels like I feel like a part of it is they want to give them a happy ending. I know they do. Or Aerith and Cloud meant to be star-crossed lovers, and Cloud finds happiness with Tifa. Which is what happens normally. But in this case, could there be a happy ending? And they're building up the idea of they're fighting fate. The very first game, they fight fate. They're always fighting fate and trying. Even so much as the ending of this game, Cloud tries to fight the fate that Aerith will succumb to and fails. Where it feels like they can't keep, like, they can't just be like, it almost feels impossible that they don't succeed at some point. That at some point they finally succeed. I don't know. Maybe he saves her in a different way than we're considered. I don't know. I'm assuming there's a plan for it, but I don't know what it would be. Maybe Cloud dies at the end. Everybody lives on. Mira is saved. Cloud and Aerith are together in the live stream, and everyone else persists. Who knows? I don't know. I don't think you can have an ending without some kind of loss at the end for the next game. And the ending for Final Fantasy is wonderful. It is kind of sad and thought-provoking in a little, you know, you don't get any backstory for the character or after story for the characters. All you get really is that who knows how long of a time it's been, but the world's recovering. Without people? Maybe so. Maybe. With people. Who knows? But, like, it's kind of stark. Where's this one? What do we expect? Zack's presence is so fan-wanky. It's so fan-wanky? I don't mind it. I actually quite don't mind it. Again, I think that was some of the most interesting stuff in the game to me, was seeing what Zack's adventures in the alternate world with Biggs. And maybe because it was just different, and it was interesting, and it was all this one single, you know, plot thread we get little bits of that I quite liked it. I guess it is self-indulgent a little bit. I mean, he's a good character, and he has good utility. And he's not like, I guess, I don't know. Maybe the whole concept of him being in this game at all is wanky. But the whole game is wanky in that case, because it's doing stuff that's very different. Sephiroth Reborn. I did recognize the Sephiroth with the head and the big head, but I couldn't remember the name of it. Like, I knew that there was like a Sephiroth with like the head and then the small head, and it was like, I did recognize that. I did recognize that. But I didn't remember what the fuck it was called. I mean, fuck, I don't remember where it was even at. Maybe it's Final Fantasy VII Revival. It's hard to not to remember an enemy that has 2 heads. It's very strange. It's like a little puppet dude. Final Fantasy VII rework, remade, re-engineered. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming we're gonna hear all the cool themes at a point later on. It was interesting that the fact that they just skipped through the whole like City of the Ancients, ancient capital stuff very quickly. Fair enough, because they wanted to, but they spent more time at the ancient temple, the temple of the ancients instead. That was weird. Guess we want to equip more material at the end. Yeah, I mean, I didn't do any of that. I mean, it's nice to rotate your material to your party members, but just you haven't. I usually have enough material that I don't feel like I need to. But that still would have been rough. I mean, I got some rough stuff. Trying to take down those motherfuckers when I had no enemy. I had no fucking party members with any fucking magic, really. And I was like, I gotta get the ATB, gotta use this magic very quickly. It's like, that's just a shit. No real range. I did it, but that was a little rough. I died at least once. Probably about time to go to Mario, by the way, but I don't know. I liked the game. I really did. It had flaws, and I acknowledged all of those flaws. And I'm still thinking there's a part of me that thinks Remake is better, but it's hard to say. I had builds I like too much, and too much work in my materials. I mean, I swapped a lot just because I spent so much time trying to take down that motherfucking... Send in the clowns. You were the clown. I was the clown taking in that goddamn quest that I never finished. That maybe I'll still do at some point. I feel like I got improvement. I did improve on that single quest in those battles, but like I still hadn't done it yet. I'm sure I'll have more thoughts, but I don't know. No promises at Journey's End. No promises at Journey's End, huh?